Hey, happy doer! Did you ever feel like things are just out of your control? Or that, everything would be better if so and so would do such and such? I felt that way too, And then I made a switch. And I'm here to tell you today about that switch and how it all happened. We're going to talk about accountability today. And specifically, I'm going to do so by way of a book review. This book is near and dear to my heart. It is The Oz Principle. And it's by Roger Connors, Tom Smith, and Craig Hickman. Before we dive in, thank you so much for tuning in. If you're new here, hi, I'm Heather. Welcome to Happier at Work. And for returning viewers, thank you for tuning in. Let's dive into our book review on the Oz Principle and accountability. Now, like I opened with, yes, there was a time where everything was everybody else's fault and where I didn't feel like I was in control. And you know what? That just was not working for me anymore. This book was introduced to me, probably 5 or 6 years ago. And it was where I was working. I was working for an HR consulting company, one of the best in Hawaii. And we were working on this as an organization. And I was reading and I was like, oh my goodness, this is me. I have been acting like a victim. Oh no. I was in an airport and I did their victim assessment, which I love about this book. There's a victim assessment. And I was crying because I realized, oh my goodness, I'm being the victim, and that is not who I want to be. And happy doer, I know that's not who you want to be either. And so we have to take a really hard look sometimes. And this book allowed me to do that. So the reason why I love this book, obviously I told you my story. It's very personal and it shifted me and my thinking. But it did so because it's easy to digest. They use an analogy of Wizard of Oz throughout the story, and they also, or throughout the book. And then they also use a number of stories that are business related that we can all relate to. The Oz Principle presents a really great model, a visual model, and some really clear language about identifying where you are in terms of personal and professional accountability and where you can go, what steps you can take. Very practical recommendations for you to implement and for you to just be able to name the behavior and work on yourself. It reminds you throughout that you are a human being, and of course sometimes we fall. For those who are leading a team or who are developing culture in your organization, lots of really great recommendations in the Oz Principle for you to follow to really build a team of accountable people. And they introduce a concept of joint accountability. You may have heard this from Jack Welch. He also, believed in joint accountability. This is where we have our responsibility as our job, but then we're all part of a team. We're all diving for the ball. If you are familiar with baseball, you've probably seen instances where the two outfielders are boom, 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 running for the ball, boom, and then they collide. That's exactly what joint accountability is that no one is sort of waiting around for somebody else to get the play, that everyone is going for it. And sometimes the play is made, and that's really great and spectacular, and sometimes the play is not made. The ball gets dropped, but you know what? There's no finger pointing or blame. Everybody can look around and go, we tried our darndest. This book is really fabulous for the individual, but also for the group. And that's why I like it. And that's why I tend to pass on the lessons from this book. there's a single takeaway from the Oz principle that I could pass on to you, it is to ask yourself the question of what else can I do to rise above my circumstances? I'm going to repeat that. What else can I do to rise above my circumstances? And really, I mean, this question, we can use it at work and we can use it at home. We can continually ask the question, what else can I do? Now, happy doer, you know that I'm here to teach you about workplace happiness, right? And you might be wondering, well, what does this have to do with being happy at work? And I'm here to tell you, this has everything to do with being happy at work. You see, accountability gets results, but it also builds relationships. You get done what you say you're going to do. And in the meantime, you are delivering on your commitments that you make to other people. You're getting results and you're building relationships. And that is workplace happiness. So I cannot stress to you enough this book, this idea, this concept of accountability and how it will help you be happier at work. So I encourage you, go get your copy, whichever way you like to digest the information, and start diving in. Remember, when you're feeling stuck, like there's nowhere else to go, ask yourself, what else can I do to rise above my circumstances? Thank you again so much for joining me. I would appreciate your sharing to family members, friends, and coworkers. And if you've not subscribed already, please click those buttons to follow along. Thanks again, and I will see you next time.